I've not done an intro in so long. Okay. Welcome back to What's the Story of Our History. It's been a while. I had to do other things. We had to jumble information and figure out how to continue on with this second season, or so we call it. And today we have someone very special. For once, I'm not interviewing a Sabahan, and she's an international passport holder, so she's not from Malaysia. Anyway, we have Dr. Bianca, all the way from Germany. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I'll keep it as painless as I can. I'm gonna go straight to it. Let me silence my phone before I sound like a noob. How how do you get to where you are now? Like what? How did you start?
How do I start?
Yes.
Okay, my interest for Saba starts
Mm.
in 1979 when I was 12 years old girl,
Mm-hmm.
just turned 12 4 days ago, and I saw a movie on television, and it was Sandokan.
Sanokan.
Yeah, and Sandokan is a very famous person in Italy. Every child knows Sandokan.
Oh.
Yeah, really. And they made a lot of movies on it, and there was one who was really successful. It was done in Italy in 1976,
Okay.
shown in Germany 3 years later. And it was also a really success in Germany.
Mm.
And every person knows this guy, Sandokan. But I asked myself, who is this guy? So therefore, I'm here.
So, watching a movie when you were 12 that kind of showcased North Borneo, I guess. Sabah, was it?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, the first thing I did the next day is I went on to an atlas to know where Malaysia exactly is. So it was so far away. So I just can't ask my parents to go on holiday because it was so far away. I wanted. I asked them years later, "Can we go?" And oh, it's so far away. We have to fly, and it's so expensive. But I studied where it is, and I know, oh, it's Kota Kinabalu and it's Sabah. So I realized it very early that it is Sabah.
So that was what sparked you to travel down this journey of history. Was it?
Yes, it was a background because this movie is not only a movie, it is based on a novel from an
Mhm.
Italian
Same
author.
title?
Yeah, it's Emilio Salgari.
Okay.
And it's a cycle. He wrote 11 novels on it, and his first one on Sandokan was very, very successful. So he had to write more. He lived from 1862 to 1911, so it's
Mm.
quite a time
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
gone. So, and I now I want to know everything, and I read his books in German, but they were incomplete. So
Oh.
I planned as a girl, 14 years old, to learn Italian to get it more better.
Mm.
And I learned Malay as girl,
Wow.
really, but I don't speak it so well. So sorry about that.
Wait,
So yeah,
wait,
and
hang on.
yeah,
I'm going to
okay.
cut you in. So you studied Italian and Malay when you were 14?
Yes.
How?
How?
What year was this?
Yeah.
14, that would be
Yeah,
1980.
I was at school, of course,
Mm.
but school was not so interesting. So I, I went to school, and afterwards, in the evening
Mm.
time, I went to another school for much older people and to learn the Italian language. And then we made. Yeah, we drove to Italy and I tried to learn it there directly.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought this book written by Salgari. And the first one, first page, I translated myself. I need 45 minutes for one page, but then it went on
Wow.
faster and faster and faster, and I got it. So
But how do you learn Malay?
Malay,
Yeah.
it was from London.
Oh.
So I got material
Mm-hmm.
to my home and with cassette,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
time. So I learned it, and I had to send my homework
Back to London.
via post to London, and it come back, and so I
Oh,
got
so
to
it's all
learn it.
oral where you had your cassette deck and your written material and back and
So
forth.
I can choose between Bahasa Malaysia and Indonesia. So I chose Malaysia.
Oh, that I didn't know. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, of all the things that you could have, hold on, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So you saw a movie, it sparked your interest into Southeast Asia per se, uh, because of the characters and how the movie was.
Yep. The movie was very original,
Mm.
so they made it on original places. They tried to go exactly on that island of that
Wow.
famous person, but it was not so good for
Mm.
filming, so they used the island Kapas in Western Malaysia.
Oh.
So they filmed there and in India, of course, and in Rome in the studios.
Mm.
So it was very authentical. And yeah, it was very good movie at that time. Now it's a little bit,
But still, the
yeah.
impact
Well,
is
we will
until
have a
now.
new one this year. We will have a new Sandokan movie this year
Oh,
showing on Netflix.
definitely should check it
So
out.
this September.
Were you involved with it?
No,
No, like
I wish I
research.
had because it's not like the original. It's very far away from
Mm.
this.
So that really drove you into the study of
Yeah.
history.
Yeah, I read these Salgari books
Mhm.
and I wondered, so there were place names and facts, and I wonder, is this real or no? Because the Italians said, no, it is not real, it's just fantasy,
Mm.
like an adventure novel. But I thought there must be something behind because there was something strange in it. And after school, I first studied to be a teacher, and I am a teacher. Of course, I work as a teacher now.
Okay.
But I did a second study. It's the Austronesian cultures.
Mm.
I just want to learn the cultural background. What is it? So I concentrate on Borneo, and so I come here. And when I come here, of course, I went to Marudu because it
Yes.
is mentioned in
In
the
the movie.
book, not in the movie,
In the
in the
book.
book, And I brought a flag with me, which is a flag of Sandokan, showing big in every movie. It is a red flag with a tiger on it, a
Mhm.
tiger head. And I showed this flag in Marudu, and they couldn't believe a
They
girl
actually had the
from
flag.
yes, a German girl knows the flag of Sharif Osman of Marudu. So I got through this history.
So this was early 90s.
Yes, 92.
Internet was not that amazing yet. Your research was based on a lot of Western Italian books, Russian, German books.
Yeah, no, I studied in Hamburg,
Okay.
Austronesian culture, and I could go into the library there. And I got a term in London.
Mhm.
So I went to the archive in Kew, and
Ooh,
I
you
read
got
all
in.
these materials, these letters between Admiralty and between Foreign Office and Colonial Office in Brooke, and it was fantastic for me to read all this stuff.
Do you like spend your whole day in the?
The whole day, really, the whole day. From breakfast, I went to queue. They closed at 5 o'clock p.m. And then I realized, oh, I hadn't eaten.
Okay, but those that don't know, when you go to these archives, it's not where you read one particular book that covers a topic, right? You have to do a lot of cross
Yes,
references.
yes,
So was it easy or hard for like the fact of Kota Marudu, for say,
yep.
to read about it? Was it gaps in it? Was it not enough information for you?
Yes, there were gaps, of course. So I went again to Kota Marudu,
Oh.
and yeah, there were people who helped me. Just the first visit, they were very nice to me, and it's a nice story because the first time I came here, I was, I think, 25 years old, and I didn't know anything. What will it be to be here? So I asked my 6 years older brother to accompany me just
in
for
case.
shelter.
Just in case.
And he come with me, and so we went to Kota Marudu by bus, and there was one
Oh,
big
wow.
hotel. Wow.
I think it's still one big hotel.
Yeah, Marudu Inn, of course. And we went on street searching the kubu of Sharif Osman,
Mhm.
which was, of course, not there.
Yes.
It's only forest there. But we searched that place, and I go, it must be there or there.
So-
And then a car stopped, and a man asked me, oh, two white guys, what are you doing here? I'm searching the kubu of Sharif Osman. And he, what?
And he knew?
And you.
What? It's
It
so random.
definitely you. So it was a very big luck to meet him.
Mm.
So it was destiny. So he brought me everywhere, and so we are friends now.
Aw.
His family and another family. So they brought me everywhere I wish to go and to ask people of the history of Sharif Osman of Marudu.
So,
So I tried to cut the missing gaps there.
so that's where
through-
your
yeah.
book came out?
Yeah, my book is dissertation
Mm.
for university. So I got my MA
Yes.
at Hamburg University, and I had to write something for getting this MA.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked my doctor, my professor, I want to write on the history of Marudu, and he got through my thesis and said no. No, it's not an MA, it's a doctoral thesis. He said, "Oh, I
Oh.
don't want to be a doctor." But you have to, it's a doctoral thesis. So,
Well, when you did the dissertation and it came out, were there any parties that tried to disagree with your facts?
no, never.
Wow, you did it so deep and well.
Yeah. I hope so.
Were
Yeah,
there
I went
any?
through other archives as well in Manila and Singapore and Sabah. So the staff here, Negre Archive
Mm,
Sabah, was very helpful, very friendly. All people I met here, they wanted to help me to give all materials they have on that topic. So this was very nice, nice experience here, and
right.
I love Sabah and its people.
I want to ask this. Um, how I'm gonna get in trouble. How well is the archives in our in how well are the facts in our archives? I mean,
Uh,
are the information okay or is it not enough?
in the 19th,
Yeah.
yes, it has to be more complete with all the sources who are now in England
Mm,
and gathered all around the world. So the problem with this history is it's British history,
yes.
and they brought it back to London,
So we don't
and
have.
you had to got a good collection there. But the material I get there was okay for me,
Mhm.
so I collected in other countries as well. And yeah, really, I'm lucky today. I learned that this Bonnier research. Has
Yes.
all this material collected now and is going on to collect more. And so I'm really happy with that fact. I wish I had it in the 1919s.
Well, you have it now.
Yeah, I'm
It's a
really
version
happy.
2 to come out for
Yeah,
another book update,
yeah.
maybe. So, what? 'Cause I personally felt like we don't keep our history very well. Like we don't research our own history. We take it as facts. It's like whatever is given, this is it. Were there anything that another not controversial lah? I'm not gonna try to throw you under the bus or anything. But was there anything that you saw in our archives that hey, this isn't right? Actually, like from from London's archive or Indonesia archives, it says something else.
So in the archives, the material, the Brit, yes, I was angry about this
Mm.
letter exchange between
Hmm.
Brooke and London because he pushed his view into official
Oh yeah, he
view.
wanted to be like a
So
governor.
I want to correct it because it was his view, and I could. Yeah, of all his letters, he said Sharif Osman is a pirate, of
Mm.
course,
Yes.
and he wanted that all people believed this. So all the captains, he had to got the aid of the navy to get to his to Labuan
To
to
overthrow Sheriff.
yeah. So he was dependent on the navy. So he had to tell all the captains, this guy is a pirate because he only will get the navy's aid if
He is a
it's
pirate.
on a piracy theme, because the
Mm.
navy was only here to control the seas from piracy. So he had to tell them, and he convinced all his captains, and they wrote letters to England too. Yes, he's a pirate, and so we have this view all over 200 years, maybe.
Mm.
So or
Wow, that's a lot.
150 years. It's a long time. So they always repeat this information, and that really makes me angry because it was not true. You could see it that there was no pirate activities like in European sense of piracy. So
Mm.
piracy is when you are in a sea and you are always fighting other ships
Yes.
just for plunder. So that's piracy, and that wasn't the case here.
Oh wow.
Well, there was slavery, of course, but
Yeah.
the Sultan of Brunei did the same and
Mm.
others. So he must have said to his captain, say, oh, we're pirates, and not only this one is a pirate. So I was really angry how he convinced all these other guys, and they believed on him because he was on the spot. So,
Because they didn't
the,
have another,
yeah,
no one else to counter check what he was
yes,
saying.
yeah.
Ooh. How would you bring that to light? Would you put more articles, journals?
Yeah, when I discovered that Sandokan was a real person,
Mhm.
and I discovered the Marudu, I asked after a long time, I asked him, is he maybe a person by this name? And they said, oh, yes, he was a comrade of Sharif Osman. And um, then I went to Italy, and in Italy, it's a very famous person. So I got to another professor of my field, Malay studies in Naples,
Mhm.
and I went to Rome where he has his residence. And I told him, yes, I found out that Sandokan was a real person. And you won't believe it was nearly 1 minute, total silence. His wife and he, they doesn't talk, they just stared to me. What? He is real? He says, yes, he was a real person. You don't have to say to anyone, it's your discovering. You
Oh.
just publish it in articles.
Oh.
So he managed that I wrote my first article in Italian language, and it went through TV and so
Oh
on. It
wow.
was nice.
But that support was
Yeah,
amazing though for him to
yeah, it was
say,
amazing, an amazing
yes,
story,
you
and I
put this out.
published it in German and in English in major newspapers of our field. So that's was my discovering.
Yeah.
So I found out family trees on this guy too, not only oral information, but I cross check
Mm.
with the region he came from. This is from he came from Kinabatangan region.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wait,
So
Kidapatangan,
yeah.
then all the way down to Kota Marudu, is it?
Yeah, they were partners because there
Oh.
was this bird's nest trade, in
Even
Gomondon
then?
Cave. Yes, and Sharif Osman was very after these bird's nest because they had big
Money.
profit.
Yeah.
So there was a connection between these two. I think it was an alliance partnership, and Sharif Osman was a bigger man in this story.
He was played, downplayed. He
Yeah,
was downplayed what he was. The importance of Shari of
yeah,
Othman was downplayed.
yeah.
Wow. Someone of fiction that you brought to life.
Yes, and also the story of Sharif Osman
Eh.
through this because the Sandokan person in the novels and in the films, he has got the flag from Sharif Osman.
Oh.
So, and Sargari said Sandokan come from Marudu, and it's Marudu. It's meant this region,
Mm.
and not only this Marudu Bay, but the whole
It's a
region
whole
was
region.
Marudu because Marudu influenced region.
Yeah.
So, what's really interesting for me is from where did Emilio Salgari get this information?
Information
Because
from.
Sandokan is a positive person. He's a freedom fighter.
Mm.
He's absolutely positive. Okay, but he has something in his history which is was very. It was the Battle of Marudu, of course, and Salgari wrote on this, but not in the British view, but from a native point of view. So, but Sagari lived at the end of the 19th century, and Sharif Osman was was portrayed as a pirate,
Mm.
not something else. So, Sagari must have known something with someone with another view. So, a person who told him the story from the view of the natives. And we don't know from where he got his information because this title flag was not published, but 3 years after the first Sandokan novels. So the Sandokan novels were first with the tiger flag and Marulu.
Mm.
And then later on, we had a report of a captain who was in the battle. And he wrote in the British North Borneo Herald a report on 86, so 3 years
Mm.
later. So we don't know. But there's one missing year in Sagari's life. We do not know what he had done in this 1 year. He told us he had traveled, but we don't know where to and whom he met. So he must have some inside information.
If you could just trace back to who, when, where.
Yeah, there was a big geographical congress in his
Uh-huh.
time there. And after this congress in 1881, we lost traces. So he was 1 year away after this congress. And at this congress from the Royal Geographical Society, it
Mhm.
was organized in Venice in Italy. And he was there, Sagari was
Oh
there.
wow.
So after this, we lost his traces for 1 year. So maybe he connected to explorer, venturers, a writer, and yeah, found out that there is something he would like to write. So he decided not to go on sea. He studied to become a sea captain. He quit it, did not finish his exam, and wanted to write adventure novels. And so one of his first one was La Tigre de la Malaysia. It
Oh,
is a tiger of Malaysia,
okay.
he called it. And this person, it's a nickname of Sandokan.
I guess. Oh, no,
So you have a Sabahan hero who's very prominent in the world. So
we don't
everyone,
know.
yeah, everyone in South America, Middle America knows him and was inspired by him. So you have Che Guevara, of course. He
Oh
knows
yeah.
Sandokan, was inspired by Sandokan.
What?
Lot of people. So it's
What?
this freedom fight from this Sandokan person is,
I,
yeah,
I think
inspired
that
them.
shows how history is kind of manipulated to tell the narrative or the
Yeah,
control of what who did what instead of what actually happened. Because I didn't know about this guy was a
yeah,
hero and he's from here. What? And he's in a novel and he's in movies.
yeah. So comics, so it's very, a lot of fandom.
I cannot. I wonder why he's. Yeah, I guess Brooks' intervention with who the players were,
Yeah.
his political will kind of.
Yeah, Brooke wanted to have Labuan
Yeah.
under his guise, so to have the navy nearby.
Why was love in your
Labuan is near to Brunei, and he wanted to control Brunei as well as the Sultan. So
because Laban
this was
felt
his
like such a
point.
small thing, but such a heavy
Yeah, but
influence.
it's next to the bay, to Brunei, and I think Sharif Osman has had a base there for trading with Brunei. He has friends in Brunei, he's in Brunei, of course. And so, but Brooke wants to get this island for the British because they thought there's some coal for the ships on this
Mm.
island. And it's a good base for controlling piracy in South China Seas. So he wanted to have that island.
With Labuan, there was a point when we were no longer Sabahan Island, we are
Yeah,
Federal Island.
yeah,
They wanted to change the narrative that there was never coal on the island, and that what we have was just it was just there. It's not real.
yeah,
Like the coal tower is just there to be a coal tower
uh,
that never was. I mean, we had tracks going into the sea and
yeah,
everything. So it's even then that was already 90s. People were still trying to change our history, which is super annoying.
yeah.
what else have you found surprising, or like what else you think you want to dig into, like Sabah history or North Borneo history?
Yes, I want the connection between Sharif Osman and Sandokong.
Mm.
It's his name by natives from Kinabatangan is Sandokong, and in the family trees. I want to discover more of this. I had to question people on the Kinabatangan River.
Mm.
I just missed it.
Oh,
But yes, I had to work for a few more years and then I will be free. And perhaps then we can make another investigation there. So there's a lot of knowledge, of oral knowledge, and to collect it and to date it up with other facts.
wh-
Just
when you
see.
do all this research, right? Is it a
Yeah.
self-funded research, or are you, or is it
Yes. It's
self-funded?
yes, of course.
What really?
First in university, okay, I got this term in London, but when I was finished, I worked as a teacher,
Hmm.
so I get good money as a teacher in Germany, and I have private time, so I can do it on myself. And yes, of course, this Goethe Institute now paid a lot for me to come here and to find out. So I'm very grateful for this. So thank you very much.
I think we don't spend our own money enough on our history.
Yeah,
I yeah,
should.
for it to be like a personal passion of
Yeah.
sorts
Mm.
and still have access to all this information, like I don't know where to start digging even.
Yeah. So it's your history, but history here maybe starts when the British North Borneo Company has come in
Yeah, that's when
1881.
the oral
So
the
is this
written
the
history
same region
happens.
as Sabah today?
Mm.
So that's the history just before that. And
Mm.
I tried to dig it out,
Yeah,
what was really done there by whom and
we
uh,
always there's a saying where our history has always been an oral history,
yeah,
not a written history.
yeah,
That's where we might have lost a lot of information, or history
yeah,
lines have been blurred because of who was writing and who
yeah.
understood what was
Yeah,
supposed to be
yeah.
written.
It's intentions of
Mm.
one who told the history, but you have written history because of the family trees.
Mm.
And this is written history, and we had some reports from British men who were from the company but who are quite neutral, and
Ah.
they wrote down what they heard by the natives. And this one is considered too for me more written history than oral history, because these were not only myth but it was facts.
Hmm.
So people told they
All those are in the archives,
this
London
is these are
archives.
in the archives too. These are private letters to other persons, reports to the governor, and things like that. So you can trace back names. So the sons of Sharif Osman, they
Mm.
are shown up in the history. People had to ask them on the condition in Marudu. So I know the heirs of Sharif Osman were there. So he was not a single pirate
Like
there
said.
and was swiped out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But his family was actually there and of influence. So there was something there. So I considered it as a Karajan, as a early Malay maritime state who was developing next to Sulu, next to Brunei as the next one unit here. Very independent, but with a lot of followers and alliances. And the alliances, sorry, my English
It's
alliances,
okay.
they were very important to him. So he got a lot of marriages, of course.
Yeah. So okay, I'm jumping all over the place. So like when you came to Kota Marudu, because I know we don't have our like district archives and all that. I don't think we have. How do you dig into the information in Kota Marudu your first
Yeah.
trip here?
I got friend there
Uh huh.
and two families, and they brought me to people who know the history. So they really consider to whom they can carry me. So I wanted to know information from all over the bay,
Mm-hmm.
and they decided to go with me to the eastern side in Pitas.
Okay.
But they were informed that the owner of the history was deceased. So we lost that family. So they only brought me to persons who know on the history, who were reliable. And I was very grateful. Of course, my material was not
Mm.
that thick because I cannot ask everyone
Yeah.
there, but it was special persons. And I had interviews with. I think he was a brother of the Sultan of Sulu and the headmaster in Marudu, and a lot of people who were there for a lot of generations, and they told me what they knew on Sharif Osman.
So this was
So
also oral history.
it's oral history, but it's family history
Mm.
as well.
That's a lot of research.
Yeah.
The But do you cross reference them with what was written?
Yes.
Whether it makes sense? Were there anything like, oh, this one is an iffy, maybe not?
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot as well when you do your research?
Pardon?
Like when you have oral history, right? And then
Yeah.
you cross reference it.
Yeah.
Are there like somewhere there's iffy, it could have been, maybe not?
Yeah, sometimes it is like that. It could have been, but then I will write it down. It could have been. We
Mm.
cannot trace it up, but it could have been. So I made in my dissertation a chapter at the end with oral history. I put it out of the main part, but
Ah,
I put it there, all information I got, because I don't want it to be lost.
yes.
And it was it were interviews with uh, formulate you, so it was planned,
Mm.
not just can you tell me. So I
Okay.
made an exact yeah exact paper to ask them, and I give them also my questions, and they answered it at home. And so it was not just what was your history. So
It
I
was
put it
specific
out of
questions.
my main part, but when I wrote the main part, I always I always said, and you can look at in my back, so you can
Mm.
just
Or
find the information there, and it matches
reference.
with that one.
Oh, in all your research, what was the one point or one topic that you uncovered that you went, yes, that made an impact to your, like, made an impact to you, and yes, this is correct. This is what I'm. this is what I want to do.
It's the meaning of Sharif Osman. So they didn't know, or they don't want to know, I don't know, that he was a pirate. They were, what? No, of course not. And this is what I always thought. But all the history books, the official history books, always say he was
Pirate,
a
pirate,
pirate, pirate,
pirate.
pirate, pirate. So they, no, never. And that was very nice that
Hmm.
these people remembered him the exact way he was, and
Wow.
not as like in the history books. So this was very astonishing for me. So
Because I always thought Sherry Osman was a pirate as well.
yeah, yeah.
Huh.
So he really wasn't. But he had, of course, he was in this trading relations with Brunei and Sulu. But it was not
Pirate, pirate.
it was not that place where the most of the slaves were sold. This was slavery markets were somewhere else. So he was to try to get his profit on these birds' nests.
So he's more of a
And there
trader.
were a lot of Chinese who settled just in his era there in Marutu Bay. So this is what another British told us, or an explorer. And he, oh yes, there were a lot of Chinese in the 1813s there. So
Mm.
he was there in that time. So we knew the Chinese were there, and where the Chinese settled, there must be trade.
Did
So,
that bring you into China?
yeah, me.
Yeah.
Yes, I was one time there. Yeah, because I wanted to go to Tibet. I had to go to China first, but it was very interesting, Shanghai, and
Did you make
yeah,
it to Tibet?
yeah.
Oh, how is it?
Hi, I got sick.
Because of the
I
altitude.
got air pressure. But we visited every temple we get.
Aw.
So
Among all your research, is there another place or location that is on your list that you haven't been to?
in the world,
Yeah.
yes, it's India. I
Oh.
missed India. And I missed, of course, Sri Lanka and some part of South Africa
Hmm.
and islands, the Maldives, before they were lost.
Oh yeah.
It's a bad point. Yeah.
Ooh. I'm gonna. Okay. What's next for you? Like, what's your plans? Let's say next 3 5 years. What?
Yes, I plan for a second book because my first book is I wrote it in 2000
Mm-hmm.
and it came out 2003. And this was a time where we didn't use the computers, the internet connections when I wrote it.
So you
So
literally.
I had to go to every place to see the archives, to write letters. So, but after that, we had the World Wide Web, and a
Mm.
lot of people wrote to me and they said, we are descendants and we know this and that. And I collected it. And then 10 years later, I saw all my material and I think, oh, we had to write a second book. But I wasn't ready that. I had to do something else. I was interested in the archaeology of Egypt, of old Egypt, and I just wrote a book there. So now I'm ready with that part.
Mm-hmm.
And I consider to write a second book. I'm just on it, and that's I think it will last some months or some years. I don't know. Okay, this is what I plan for the next time. But really, perhaps in 5 or 6 years, I may be retired.
I
I
don't think
wish to
so.
be retired from my job.
Oh, from your job, yes. Okay.
Yes, yes. And when I retire from my job, I am free to do
All this
more
research.
research, to ask, to check, to find maybe some interesting points more.
I wanted to ask, how does this impact your daily life doing research so much? Like, do you see history everywhere you go?
Yeah, my room is fully packed. I have a big tiger flag on my
Oh,
to
was it the
two
original
ones.
original flag?
No,
Ah.
yes, it's I painted myself
Oh.
when I was 13, 14 years, and it was there all over the time. So every time I come into my sleeping room, I see
It's
this.
there.
It's there, and there are swords there, and all this stuff you collect when you are first here. So I will be remembered every day on this. So
Hmm.
this one is one of the basic three things of my life. This is one very important.
Hmm. Do you have any tips for would-be historians?
From here, from Sabah?
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
start from Sabah. Yeah.
Yeah, to dive deep into their own history. It's so rich and so lovely. And you have these caves at Kinabatangan. You have all this history to be discovered. And what I really wish is that history maybe one time should have been visible, like you will rebuild the forts of
Mm.
some important families. Here were
Yes.
Kubu all over Sabah, and perhaps the fort of Sharif Osman will be rebuilt as well as a center for visitors and to get an insight in this history and or the museum in Kota Kinabalu will more improve, and we have a lot of material. There must be a lot of
More
plunder,
artifacts.
yeah, a lot
More
of
artifacts.
plunder which the British
Mm.
people took away, the
Yeah.
captains and the admiral, and I really would like to find some of it in London or in Scotland, and where I don't know to where they had brought it, but it must be there because the flags of other countries of enemies were collected by them. There were items, tokens
Mm.
we had won. So
Mm.
there must be somewhere some things from this fortress and perhaps from other parts. And it would be nice to have a visible history. So much what was gone has gone.
Yeah, and I don't think we've
Yeah,
had chance
there
to reclaim it.
must be old cannons.
I think they are,
Yeah, there are.
but
One is in the museum.
I think we also don't know the value, so we just
Yeah.
see it as, oh, it's just lying there. Oh,
Uh,
somebody wants to
yeah,
buy it. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
we'll sell
Okay.
it.
Gaia Street
Yeah,
Market in Sunday. I saw cannons there. I was, huh?
yeah, like the 80s, 90s. Yeah,
Yeah, but I cannot. Yeah, yeah, but I cannot buy it and brought back to Germany. I brought a lot of swords back to Germany.
wow.
This was allowed,
Do you have any artifacts?
but not older than 100 years. So it must be
Uh,
new ones.
do you have any personal artifacts that you keep close to you?
Really, artifacts? No,
You know, like something like somebody passed down to somebody to pass to you, or you found somebody who has something.
No, this one I would go to. Would like to kept here. So I
Ah,
never brought something of value at home to Germany. When it is an artifact from here, it should be here in a museum and not at my home.
see, not everybody thinks like that.
Indiana Jones.
I think that's what we see history as adventures into time. Anyway, I think I'm gonna cut this here. Anything you want to say before we cut it off?
It's always nice to be here, and would like to thank all these lovely people from Sabah who helped me to get further knowledge, who supported me, who was so friendly. I love to be in your country, really. Thank you, Terima kasih banyak.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Bianca, for your time and yeah, educating me a bit more. All this like Sharif Osman was not a pirate. Okay, and I'm still
Got
happy
it.
that you found out a so-called fictionist figure was actually a
Yeah.
person in history. So
Yeah.
that's an amazing find, and I hope the best in your near adventures and research. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Cut.
Got?